everybody. This is Dr. Leland from Level Up Academy. Welcome to our channel. Thank you for 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube. We are ranked top 10% podcasters out of 3 million with 25 distribution channels. And we are on 6 continents, 80 plus nations and countries. We have MP3, live stream, TV show, and internet radio soon in 2024. And what is Level Up Academy about? Our vision is to be the Netflix of education. Our mission is to level up the world through education. Will you join us and help us? Share your knowledge, inspire others. We are in 25 distribution channels, again, 80 nations and countries, globally ranked at top 10% podcasters with E360 TV network. All right, and check this out. These are some activities that I love to do to meet A-listers in Hollywood. You see Stanley in there, you see the RoboCop, Alien guy, Monsterpalooza during that time. I am 3 times international best-selling co-author and have written so many books and going to be as well, having to publish. We do collaborative projects, memberships, courses, coaching, graphic design, book publishing, mentorship, and of course, we are your publicity hub. Welcome to Level Up Circle. We are on Roku, TV, Amazon Fire, Apple. 1,000 thanks to you. Have a fantastic day. Hello, everybody. Check this out. This is our amazing people today. But before we bring them in one by one, remember the anthology for Authors Call. We have limited space. It starts on February 1st, and you will have your book in your hands, okay, by March. It is amazing. We do it all the time, and this is no different, except this time I will actually give you guys airtime on my TV show to read 5 minutes excerpt of your book. And my goal in this book is to have a book of stories on how each and every author in this book thrive in their life's gray zone. Every day we do everything, but we are going through a certain adversity. Some are depression, mental illness, divorce, financial hardship. But at the end of the day, all the clouds that you're in, right? You thrive anyway because you are a fighter. So hopefully you can join me. And then tomorrow, my TV show is going to be the CEO and founder of Hounds of Business, right? Hounds of Business. So tomorrow, watch us on YouTube, but we also will be on Roku, Amazon, and you know the rest of them, right? So welcome. Are you guys ready for today? So I want to bring in the guy who knows the guy. Should you just be the guy who knows another woman, huh? We got to change that, Michael. So we're going to bring him in and see what this breakthrough summit is all about, and we are inviting you, and he's going to give us our details. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Let me see if Michael, give me a thumbs up if you are ready, sir. Yes, he is. There he is. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Fantastic.
Great to be here. And sorry, I'll explain in my book, The Guy Who Knows a Guy. It explains that it's the guy who knows a guy because the guy who knows a man or woman doesn't really have that ring to it. So, but guy applies to all people. It's a Northeast thing. You know, I got a guy. I'm a guy who knows a guy. Go talk to Michael. He's a guy who knows a guy. He'll hook you up.
Wait, are you from Boston?
I am from outside of Boston.
Okay, because it sounded like Bostonian. I lived in Boston and Virginia and DC for a little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but
so
actually,
tell me a little bit about yourself.
Easily 2/3 of the guys I know are women.
That's true. We do have a lineup of amazing people here. So tell me a little bit about yourself so I can introduce you to my network. And then let's talk about what this summit is all about and how it started.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you know how a lot of people find networking to be unpleasant, unprofitable, and generally not very nice? Well, what I do is teach people to network profitably with ease. I love networking. When I stumbled into Groton, Connecticut, not knowing anyone, I just started networking because I didn't know anything else to do. And not having anything to offer, I started introducing people to people I was meeting because I didn't know anything else to do. And before I knew it, I was meeting people at higher and higher levels, I'm like, how am I doing this? All I'm doing is introducing people to people I'm meeting through other events. And sure enough, that's apparently all connecting is. And I was just doing it intuitively. And then once I figured out what I was doing, I was like, oh, there's a system to this. Other people can replicate it who aren't hyper extroverts like me. And that's when I started to discover the power of connection, and especially with the internet now, and especially post 2020, that you can connect to anyone. The challenge is a lot of the spaces that are networking spaces are very difficult to navigate because they're not built to facilitate making connections. So if you don't really know what you're doing, a lot of them are there to sell you something, or they're run by someone who just doesn't know how to put an event together for results. So I create spaces where people connect. And the apotheosis, that's my word for 2024, by the way. The apotheosis of all this is an event called JV Connect that I run quarterly. That is a pure dedicated networking event, not there to sell you something, not there to bring a bunch of speakers together, just networking. But what I do to bring people into my community are these summits, such as the Breakthrough Summit, that are highly interactive summits. They're not recordings. They're not, not like a list of videos you can watch. It's people speaking to you live on Zoom. You go into breakouts. You can ask them questions. You can, there's going to be hot seats where a panel of the speakers can actually support the audience members in their particular challenges. So it's sort of getting people into that connection. And then from there, they can then come to JV Connect and connect with some of the really high level entrepreneurs that I know in the industry. But I'm all about connection. The great thing about making connections is there's no imposter syndrome, because you're just a conduit. If you're plugging in, if you're a power cable, doesn't matter if you're plugging in a 10-year-old Nokia or a brand new iPhone 16. I don't know what iPhone's on now. You're just a power cable carrying the power. That's what a connector does. They just carry that power, and you never have to worry about, am I good enough to introduce these people? Can you write an email and say, hey, you should meet you? Yeah, you're good enough. Good. Make the connections. And that's one of the really cool things about it.
I love it. And you're right. Some networking event, you sit there and you're like, did I just really do this the last hour? I didn't learn anything or knew anyone. What was happening there? And so then it's discouraging to go back to the networking event, right?
I went to one. It was the organizer talked for the first 2 hours of the event. 3-day event, started at 11 o'clock. By 1 o'clock, we still hadn't gone into breakouts, nothing. And he's like, don't be rude to the speaker. Don't be active in the chat. There was literally no networking for the first 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is why I came back from that and I said, all right, I'm making a 15-minute guarantee. When I run my event, you got within 15 minutes of JV Connect, you are in a breakout room and you're meeting people. So, the introduction I need to do is a bit longer. So I break it up. I like a little introduction, get to some action, meet some people. Then I provide more guidance and support. But you go to networking events to network. And that's what they're for. And so many of them, like, you'd think that'd be a basic concept. To have a good networking event, there should be networking.
Right? A conversation, something.
Yeah. You should meet someone. You get to turn your mic on. Yeah.
Right. And you're like, hey, can I talk now? It's so funny how that works. But I have seen those. And so I usually do my networking event as speed dating, almost like a speed networking.
Yep.
I ask like 1-2 questions. I'm like, ready, go. Yep, and then I quiz you guys. I'm like, okay, who wants Amazon and Starbucks gift cards right now? Tell me about the other person. What did you know? They're like, oh, they're sweating because they want that $5 Starbucks. It's so amazing.
That works.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to give you credit for this, because this is something that I love to do. I love summits. I love networking, because that's how I do it. It's collaborate. I mean, my mission is to level up the world through education. I can't educate 8 billion people. 8 billion is a lot, right? I'm not even scratching. But by networking, by other people's, adversity and their story, I love storytelling. Then we can learn from it. So today, actually, not only will I want to give you credit, but I want to put this woman who actually introduced me to you, and that's how we're here today. And let me see if she's Crystal. Okay, it's like, give me a thumbs up. There she is.
Hello, my lovely, and Michael. Hello. I just think it's funny that I kind of flipped the script on you, Dr. CJ.
I
Gotta love it.
Ask me that question, because I was like, when did this happen? When did you flip the switch? Because I'm usually the one pushing people out to do things. so you could grow. But first of all, tell me a little bit about yourself and maybe the topic of your summit. What is the topic of your summit for this breakthrough?
Well, the topic is actually something that you and I have covered in your show, ironically, the last episode that I did with you, which is going from strife to thriving, basically from just surviving, especially getting out of a domestic abuse situation where you're just down on yourself and you're just going through the motions of life, to being able to look at yourself proudly and thrive and learn to love yourself and trust yourself again, and to be able to be open to others as well.
I love that. And that's the reason why I love this book anthology coming up. It's because it's not surviving. We're done surviving, people. We're going to thrive in our own adversity. We're going to welcome all the bads, the goods, the ugly, and everything else. But we can't really do that and navigate life when there's just so much bombarding us, right? And that's what I love about this group, is because now we're going to learn from each other. And so we're going to bring in Angelique. Give me a thumbs up. We're going to do Angelique, Marla. We're going to do Sally after that. Are you ready? Yes, she is. There she is. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you. So excited to be here.
Yes. Introduce yourselves to us and your topic for the summit.
Yeah, so I am a conscious leadership coach. I'm also the founder of my company called Oversight Global. And I basically empower workplace, business, and life aspiring leaders to be confident and effective and amplify their impact. So, my topic that I'm going to discuss during the summit is how to recognize and embody your inner phenomenal leader. And I'm super excited about it. So, going to talk about what your inner phenomenal leader is. We all have this leader within us. We are all capable of leading ourselves and in our own lives, but a lot of us miss out on that. And so I'm really just going to talk to people about how they can embody their inner phenomenal leader in order to reach their fullest potential and really, live their best life. So yeah, super excited.
Well, I wanted to know a little bit about how you got there. Like, we're talking about the outcome of our adversity, but I really want to know the nitty gritty of, like, how did Angelique came up with this?
Yeah, so I actually come from a really long career in the healthcare industry. I was in healthcare for over 20 years, and I really I really got put through the ringer when I got promoted to my first management position in healthcare. And, usually I'm used to being able to accomplish a goal really quickly. And that's why I really didn't stay in positions for very long, because I really was looking for the next thing, to kind of conquer. But when I got into management, it was so different. And that's where I really found that, because it's going into a position of authority, and that takes a different perspective, a different approach, a different mindset. It even utilizes a different part of your brain. And nobody prepared me for that. I had no type of training, preparation. Nobody took me aside and said, hey, this is what you can expect, and this is what you need to do in order to make this shift successfully. I didn't have that. And I saw other managers and leaders in the workplace suffering through the same thing of not knowing, having to really navigate their own way. And a lot of them weren't able to accomplish that. That's why we have so many workplace managers that burn out. And, that really hurts my heart, because I talk to so many managers that are, out there trying to make a positive impact and, help and inspire and empower people, but they don't have the proper tools and guidance that they need to do that. And a lot of them just give up and decide not to manage anymore. And it hurts my heart, because I can see the potential for them to do so much positive things and impact people in such amazing ways. But because they didn't have what they needed, they didn't do that. So yeah, that's really how I got to what I do now, and how I discovered my own inner phenomenal leader and have seen that same transformation in other people. And so that's, why I'm out here trying to help other people discover their inner phenomenal leaders and really be intentional and take control of their lives instead of being subject to circumstance and the world and people's expectations and stuff. Really harness who you truly are, being your true authentic self, and really living your purpose and living your best life. So that's how I got here, is going through the ringer in healthcare management.
I love it. I love it. And I'm glad you said that, because I'm actually going to another summit. So I'm here at January 23rd. I thought it was the last one. I think I saw somebody that's even after me, which was, I was excited. I'm like, I'm not the last one. Okay. And I was actually dancing in here. I'm like, yes, Michael, go for it. Basically on the 25th, I'm going to travel to Orlando, Florida. I'm in San Diego. On the 24th, and then on the 25th, I'll have a lot of us meeting in real life, actually, from LinkedIn. And I am a speaker for Healthcare Amplified. And basically, it's going to have an amalgamation of all kinds of information within healthcare and within business, right? And this is actually PodFest. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like one of the biggest podcasters meeting. And I think they went in the world record for having like the most people in one of their live streams, like 10,000 people at one point. And so we're meeting there in person. We're going to learn from the best in the industry, network, Michael Network. I've always been thinking about you now. I'm like, how do we do this? So we're going to do
I branded
that.
my name with networking for you, then I've done
Right. Seriously, I'm just going to stamp it in there. And because we have a business community, we have networking, and that's really it, is like, you need to be able to network with people and the right people and do the right questions. And how is the always the questions, right?
Yeah, that's Alex Sanfilippo's event, right? Is he on
Yeah.
podcast? Yeah. He was actually one of our guests at JV Connect.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna be doing that as well. So let's bring in Marla. Marla, are you ready? Give me a thumbs up. Yes, she is. There you are. Welcome. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your topic about the summit.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here. And one of the reasons that I connected with Michael was because of his live summits and because of the way he structures his summits, because I've done a lot of recorded summits and it just doesn't feel the same. I like to interact with the audience, and I like to, really help people transform and not just give them information. I don't think that's helpful. Here's the 3 steps to do something, and then nobody ever implements. So I like to work directly with people. He's got the hot seats. He's got the short talks, which is so great because sometimes we just don't want to listen to somebody for an hour, even if we love them, right? So there's so many great things about Michael's summit. And what I'm talking about is how to unhook from self-doubt. And so many people have at least a little self-doubt, if not a lot of self-doubt. So this is huge. I'm a public speaking coach, and I do this because I want people to speak up, because it feels good to them, because people need to hear your story, and because it's the fastest, best way to grow your business. By far, speaking is by far the best way to grow your business, but you have to speak well. You have to speak so people hear you and it lands and they're excited. My company is Speakers on Fire Academy, and I love getting you fired up about what you do. Yeah, absolutely. You got to be fired up. You got to have passion. And you don't have to have energy up here all the time, because even that is exhausting and your audience is going to back off a little bit. Okay, it's a little too much. But you do have to have that passion, even if you have it from this quiet place. It can still be magnetic, where you draw people in. I'm all about people's energy and how to have this embodied presence so that you do draw people in and you're authentic. Makes a huge difference. But I've seen executives and I've coached people that have been speaking for a long time, and they still get that self-doubt. And even a little bit of self-doubt does hold you back, and your audience perceives it. The more confidence you have, the more you invite your audience to have confidence in you. Yes. and it just feels better. And then everything in the world is going to get better. Your relationships with your spouse, your kids, your work, everything gets better when you have these communication skills. So I'm, as you can maybe tell, kind of passionate about it.
And I want to
Just
give
a
Marla,
little. Just a little.
I want to give Marla a shout out for something I don't think she knows she's indirectly responsible for. So I mentioned we had so many applications for this one that I said I need to do another one in May and make it 3 days. And so I was sitting there with about 23 applications for 20 spots. I'm like, okay, that's not bad. And then I start getting these emails from people saying, oh, Marla said I should talk to you about the Breakthrough Summit, see if there might be openings. Now I'm like, well, now I've got like 30 applications for 20 spots. And I don't like saying no to a lot of good people who could be on my stage. So I'm like, I guess I need to build a bigger stage with all the people you're sending me. So the fact that we've already put Breakthrough 2 on the calendar, Marla, that's indirectly your fault.
Oh, I love having that, that problem that, right? Yes. And yeah, I tell people about you because I love the way you conduct the summits. It's fantastic. Yeah.
I love that. And I can tell that you are an energy giver. I love that. And you're also self-aware. And I'm also watching what you're saying, like, you need to be intentional because sometimes it gets a little too much. You and I, if we're in the same room, it would be trouble because I'm not afraid to be loud and proud because what I'm trying to do in my heart of hearts is really help people. And each one of us, that's what we're trying to do. And some of us just don't know where the stage is. And that's where Michael comes in and said, hey, come to my stage. Let's do it together. Right. And do some karaoke and some live streaming and some, like I love the buffet
karaoke. I don't know if
Hey, I was talking about
the line there. No, just kidding.
I was talking about doing a group trivia night, live streaming a group trivia, just to have fun. So, I mean, why not go all the way and do group karaoke? I mean, me, Dr. CJ, I know Nick would join us.
We'll be singing in here. You're like, guys, get off the stage. You're losing people. Cover your ears. Oh my gosh.
I do an incredible rendition of Baby Got Back.
Oh my God, I have to see that.
I do Janis. I have one song I can do for karaoke. That's it. Just one. It's Janis Joplin. And it's the only one I can do.
You only need one.
Like, bring it.
It's a good one. Oh my gosh. But people want fun. They want an experience that, where number one, we're bombarded with information all the time. We don't want more information. Mm-hmm. And number two, and you can find information anywhere. You don't need to hear it live. And number two is that the world's a bit crazy. And so we really need this, some humor and some love and some connection. We crave this. So that's really important as a speaker, that you don't just give information, but that you give an experience and a transformation and a connection.
In my classroom, I'm a professor full-time. I teach 6.5 hours actually live every day. I call that experiential learning, where I'm the teacher. I only learn this much, but I want everybody else in my classroom to tell me your experiences on this topic. Right. And it's called experiential learning because we're learning from each other. And every single class I have, my goal is always to have one transferable skills that my students can take from that conversation and they can use it to their work. And I actually, Angelique, when you were talking about that, I actually created a course because I went to MIT and get some instructional design backup. I was a dean at university for a couple times. And I created a course called Managing Your Boss. And then they're like, oh, how do I manage the boss? And then at the end, they were like, wait, did you just tell me I'm the boss? I'm like, yeah, you are the boss. You are the boss of yourself. But a lot of times we don't know our learning styles. We don't know our communication styles, right? And so you got to back up like 4 times before you can move forward 1 time. Right? Because that way you are solid in your foundation that anybody else coming into that, you're like, I'm good. Yeah, that hurts a little bit, but I'm good. Right? And it's when you don't know yourself and your learning style, the self-doubt kicks in and then you're in for the ride. It's going to take you months, weeks, days, years, who knows? Right? And then you add more adversity into that and you're like, I'm drowning. I'm done. I'm just done. I went there. I went there for a long time, and so I know how that feels. So I'm glad that you guys are here. We're gonna get in Sally. Sally, are you ready? Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Let me see if she can see me. Yes? Yes. Okay.
I'm here. Yes.
You are.
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah.
And it's great you guys are talking about what you're talking about, because that's what I do. Only it's a little different. I actually can hand you a roadmap to am I allowed to say that on the, to the crap in your brain? I can hand you a roadmap. That's what I do. I'm full on woo-woo. I'm full on woo-woo, and I backed into it. I did not come forward and diving into it willingly. I backed in kicking and screaming. I want to testify to that.
I love full on woo woo. Bring it. It's the year of the dragon. We're all gonna be woo wooing. It's Chinese. I'm Chinese Filipino. So February 10th is Chinese New Year, and I miss my grandpa because I don't have my red envelope anymore. So give me the full woo woo. I'll bring it. Bring it. I will take it. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Sally.
Well, I actually was a normal human being who was naturally intuitive and very highly sensitive. And we're going to do a nod to Dr. Elaine Aron, the highly sensitive person. There are a lot of us out there. And then something very interesting happened in 1999. I had an accident, or maybe it wasn't on purpose, and I died, like dead, in my backyard, and then got up 45 minutes later and walked around and made dinner and did all kinds of stuff. When I eventually got to the hospital, it looked like a scene out of Death Becomes Her, when the doctor goes, "But wait a minute, you're dead." Because I had 3 broken vertebrae in my neck and I had walked around for ages. And I literally was supposed to be dead. So yeah, something happened. So what happened was some amazing abilities got turned on. And I have this ability to see energy as it flows through people and situations, and through space, through time, through past lives, through future. I mean, because it's all now. And I can see it as it flows, and I can see where exactly, when I said I can give you the roadmap to I can. And I can empower you to know exactly where it is, to how to change it. Or I can just change it for you. It's either a done with you or done for you service. So depending on
I'm like, can you sign me up? I need that. I need someone done for me. Like, seriously, right now.
It's really weird, and I don't know how it works. I mean, I can't explain it. It is essentially what it looks like in me is like things flow. Oh, there's the thing. Let me just reach out and tweak it a little bit, and boom, all of a sudden the rash goes away, or all of a sudden you're not afraid to speak on stage anymore, or all of a sudden your business starts making money. This happens over and over and over again with my clients, and I can't explain it. And
maybe it's because you unlock the alpha side of us. Because remember, we only use 5 to 10% of our brain, right? So when we unlock potentials, the possibilities are endless. And so
they really are.
Have that power of the possibilities. And because, like I said, we every day our thoughts and our minds, 95% is subconscious. So whatever crap we put in our head, we believe it. And most of the
this
time,
is true. And the narration
is in our head.
Yeah.
Right?
It makes a difference with how you narrate it too, people. I'm just going to mention that, because how you narrate in your brain all the time? If you wake up and go, "Oh my God, the weather sucks," then you're going to start, like, "Oh man." So change the narration. That helps. But what's different about, I think, now I don't know, because what's different about what I do is that there's a level of detachment where everything is just a 1 or a 0. And so all things are possible, or no things are possible. So, and this goes way back. This is really super ancient wisdom. I'm not going to lie. Really super ancient. All healing modalities are based on either it is or it isn't. And I don't know why boy, did we get in the weeds deep, didn't we, in a hurry? But That's what I notice. That's what I notice. And this year I decided I'm going to stand up and help people learn how to detach to the level that I can so they can heal themselves. But I still have the done for you service, but I want to help you learn to do it too.
I love that. We need that. The world actually needs that. We need a lot of healing. There's a lot of egos, a lot of miscommunication, a lot of assumptions, and then we have two wars. We can't afford that anymore. And then we have turmoil within our circle. We can't. And Michael, I just want you to know, thank you so much for introducing me to this amazing human. I think someone above, the man above there, the guy over there who knows a guy and a guy, told me I needed this. Thank you. This is kind of a selfish shout out, but thank you. And really, what made it possible to get to know you is Crystal. So, sister, thank you so much. Right. And then we do have Sean. Sean's like, did you see me? I see you, brother. Are you ready? Here you are. How are you?
Doing well. Sorry to be late.
Better late than never.
I was teaching my day job, teaching English, and it ran late. But
Okay.
Excited to be here. Excited to get to know all of the panelists here. Thank you to Michael for organizing this and letting me be a part of it. Technically, my first deal. I did this rodeo about 7 years ago, put my coaching on pause, and this year it's go time. No more. I actually just got back in November from Super Coach Immersion by Mind Valley, and on day 3 I stood up and realized that the speech I gave 7 years ago I was not honoring. I was not following my own advice and disrespecting myself, and I vowed at that event, no more playing small. Gonna play all out, play it big.
I love that. That's my mantra. Go big or go home. So if you see me all go crazy somewhere, that's because that's my mantra. I go big or I go home. And the reason, and you know what's funny, because people like, maybe because you have Napoleon issues, because I am only 5 feet tall, okay? But if I'm in that room, I don't care how tall you are, you're going to hear me. I'm loud. And God made me this way. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. But I love what you're saying in terms of disrespecting ourselves, because we do. And we also make excuses for people that we like sometimes to get into our energy space because we like them, even though they're also disrespecting us. And it takes me a while to get there, especially if I like the person. But at the end of the day, we have to protect our own energy, right? Because like what Sally said, you need to attract good things in your head so that you can manifest reality in real life of what you're thinking behind your head. And so I'm going to get that practice. Thank you, Sally. That's actually a really good start in terms of getting your head out of your head and get yourself out of the way and really be true to yourself and said, hey, do I really need this? I don't. But I think people get stuck, right? How do you unstuck somebody that's, no, I know this is what's happening, but you just don't want to let go? How do you let go of things that are negative in your life?
One of the things that I like to ask my clients is, if somebody was walking around behind you saying those things to you, how many seconds would it take you to punch them out?
If I can reach them.
Oh, Dr. Susan, if you couldn't reach him, I'd reach him for you, honey. At 5'9", I got your back. You're my sister.
It's just noticing. That's all it is. Like, hey, wait a minute. Do I really believe that? And that's just the first step, is like, just because I'm saying it quiet in my head doesn't mean it's not hurting me.
Right.
Yep.
Yes. And my talk for this summit is stop being nice. Be not nice instead.
yours is one of the topics that I'm most excited about. I'm not gonna lie. I read that and it reminded me of the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. And
Well,
I'm so excited for your talk just for that, because I know I'm a people pleaser. Dr. CJ can be a people pleaser at times, and it is amazing. I'm so excited just because of the title. I was so excited for that one.
yes. And talking about inspiration, it was actually because I get the daily summary of books in my Headway app. And a recent summary I got was a book called Stop Being So Nice. So that was like my inspiration, because I am a recovering people pleaser. And, there's power in, and I've been working for the last year and a half on my wife, because she's a great wife, but she forgets to take care of herself. She gets so focused on doing things for other people, myself included, my son. And it's like, no, you got to take care of yourself, babe. You got to have some boundaries. And, you can't pour from an empty cup.
You can't. You're right about that. It's amazing that this summit is coming through, and I don't know why I haven't met you yet, Michael, but I guess it wasn't the time, and this is the right time. I truly believe in alignment, right? Before we're gonna go round robin for a good 20 minutes, I wanted to ask you, how can they get a hold of you? And because you're having this breakthrough, and I'm sure you have an amazing people, what are some of the expectations that people who are attending, who haven't signed up yet, who are going to attend in this summit? What are some of the things that they should prepare for, look for?
Sure. And actually, I also want to touch on a couple things. I think we talked earlier about having ADHD as an adult. So when I came onto this show, we started talking about networking. I started talking about a completely different event, which JV Connect will be amazing, but is not what we're here to talk about. So I want to touch a couple things. One is that you're talking about trying to reach the world and 8 billion people. And one of the organizations I'm connected with that I think you'll be interested to learn about is the Great Discovery, which is they are an organization that's built on sharing knowledge and elevating the people involved in them. So a lot of these things you get involved with, and you're supposed to subsume yourself to the group. Great Discovery is about elevating its members, including translating content into other languages using AI, so it sounds like you speaking that language. So I think that anyone who's looking to impact the world, you'll be excited to learn about that, and just come to the event. You'll learn about it when you're there. The other thing I want to touch on is that the way I select speakers is different from a lot of other summits, because a lot of summits, they are, you must have a list of at least 7,000 and send me your speaker reel, and I want your bio, and I want this. And so they end up with a lot of adequate speakers who know how to sell. Basically, that's what that selects for, because they know how to build a list. They can afford to pay a speaker fee. If you're paying a speaker fee, you expect an ROI, which means you're there to sell something, and you get what you optimize for. I want enthusiastic people. I want people the message they want to share, both because that makes great content, and also because they're easier to work with. People are enthusiastic and pumped up and fired up, and they're like, I got a message. I need everyone to hear this. I don't have to remind them to invite people to the event. I don't have to remind them to, show up to the speaker meeting, and when they're speaking, they can't wait. Whereas that person with the 40,000 person email list who's been on Fox and NBC and ABC and all that, they're like, I'm doing you a favor by being on your stage. And they're not doing me any favors, because I need to chase them down for everything. So we get great people. And Crystal and Sean, who aren't as established in the industry, but they've got the enthusiasm. And Crystal then says, hey, I got someone else I want to bring in here. And I've seen in the comments, we've had Toby Staples, she's another one. She doesn't even have an email list, and she is bringing in more people to the event than anyone else so far. I'm sure everyone else has a chance to catch up. But so you get a lot of energy and enthusiasm when you have people who are like, I got a message, I don't even know how to sell it, I don't have a course yet, I just got a message to share. And that makes for a much more exciting event. So for what people to expect is, so like any other summit, we've got great speakers. They're going to be teaching cool stuff. They each have 15 minutes. So what I find works great with 15 minutes is you got to cut right to the action. I give someone an hour, they're 30 minutes in, they're still showing me a picture of their kids and their last vacation. And in 1987, I worked with IBM. I'm like, okay, get to the point. I give you 15 minutes. You get to the point. You get straight to teaching something. You get straight to some action. And I encourage interaction. So a lot of the speakers are going to say, I'm looking for a volunteer from the audience, or, everyone close your eyes and do this with me. This is not a summit that you put on in the background while you're washing dishes. If that's how you have to do it, if you're working during the summit, that's cool. I'm not going to kick anyone out. But if you want the best experience, be there. This is something that you're part of, not something that you're just, listening and like, oh yeah, I learned seven amazing tricks that I'm never going to use because I didn't use them at the time. And then between the speakers is interactive blocks. So we do breakout sessions. We do, breakout speed networking. But we also do hot seats, because I realized a long time ago, this is my 29th summit. I realized a long time ago, if I bring in all these amazing speakers, how cool would it be for a member of the audience who paid $0 for their ticket to be able to raise their hand and say, hey guys, I've got a problem. Could all of you amazing experts help me with it together? And I've already got the people. And what we discovered was, not only is this amazing for the person raising their hand, because obviously that's amazing, but the other people in the audience get a lot out of it because they get to watch this process. And even the speakers get a lot out of it because they get to work on a novel challenge. Maybe they're really focused, maybe they're corporate primarily and they don't usually work with relationship issues, or, they work with operations and don't usually work with mindset, whatever it is. They have a chance to take their skills and apply it to a unique challenge that might not normally come to them. And it's tremendously valuable for everyone involved. So this is an event that you participate in, not that you simply watch. You want to watch? You can, but I recommend you participate. Costs the same amount either way. So it's something you really want to be part of.
I love that. I love participation. I do love activities. Engagement is something I have been researching forever as a teacher, because I don't like just sit there and talk, because my lecture is 2.5 and I'm like, I am not talking for 6 hours. It's not happening. I'm not, because I have classes. I'm like, I'm talking maximum for this lecture an hour, and the rest of you all are going to talk. And so that's how I roll with my class. But before we end, I don't want to end this, but we are ending. So thank you so much for doing that. And hopefully, Michael, go ahead and put the comment section and all of you guys with your links also on the comments after this show, either on YouTube or also on LinkedIn. But I want to go back to Anjali and how and where we can find you, and then the title of your summit, please.
Yeah, so you can find me everywhere, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and all of my handles are at Oversight Global. And it's on your screen, but it's Oversight is OVERSIGHT Global. Also, my website is oversightglobal.com. And again, my summit talk is how to recognize and embody your inner phenomenal leader.
Awesome. Thank you so much. How about you, Marla?
Yes, so the best way is just to go to marlapress.com, because that's the easiest thing to remember. But I am on all the social channels and YouTube. My YouTube channel is called The Celebrators, so it might not look like that's me, but that's me because I like to celebrate. And I'm actually having a free masterclass tomorrow. So if anyone wants to come to that so that you can get even more exercises that I do, it's amazing. I can put that in the chat, what that link is to register for that. And I'd love to have a chat with all of you. My topic again is unhook from self-doubt and break through to your sizzling speaker.
I love it. Thank you so much. How about you, Sally?
Yeah, hey, I am at Bliss Life Coach on all the socials. And if somebody wants to get in touch with me directly, you can go to my website, sallyreed.com. And the title of my talk is how to get out of your own way, how to stop doing things that you don't want, essentially.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And then Sean.
So on the Meta platform, Instagram, Facebook, you can find me at Coach Sean Michael. On LinkedIn, it's a little different. That is Coaching in Guatemala. Don't have a website yet. So best way to get me is on the social.
Cheerio. You heard Cheerio? That's her with that attitude. I apologize. I try to mute myself. She's just going on with her barking. She doesn't like gardeners, okay? She just doesn't. And it's gardening day today. And I apologize for that. But thank you guys so much for being here. I truly appreciate you. I cannot wait to be part of your summit. It technically is our summit, right? And to really learn and pay attention, because you guys are putting your heart into this and really believing that we are making a change, and we are. But we have to believe it in ourselves first. Otherwise, nobody else will believe us, right? Marla, I know you said that. You're like, you got to have confidence before someone else believe you. And I truly believe that, right? And sometimes I think some of us have too much confidence that people think, oh, you're just being arrogant. No, we're passionate. I don't call that arrogance. I call that heart and passion. We're here to scream on top of the mountains that, hey, I want to help you, right? And you're like, no, we don't need help. And then in the meantime, this person is just on the corner having some really bad days when we can really help them. And I love the amazing energy that you guys bring into. I cannot wait for the summit for each one of you. And any last minute thing that you would like Michael to say, since you are the leader of the summit, I want to give you the floor.
No, just this is not your typical summit. A lot of people see the word summit, they're like, oh, I went to a summit once and it was a bunch of videos and it was boring. This is not that. If you've been to a summit and you have a bad impression, totally reasonable. A lot of the summits are, that's why I started running my own. So this is going to be interactive. It's going to be fun. You don't have to come to the whole thing. So if you're like, oh my God, I don't have 2 full days, it's fine. You can come to 1 day, half a day, whatever. But the more you come to, the more you're going to get out of it, because you're going to meet more people and learn more things and be there. But do the best you can. If you can come for an hour, come for an hour. If you come for 15 minutes, come 15 minutes. And if you can come for the whole 2 days, I highly recommend it. You will enjoy it. This is not your typical sit and listen and, and get a bunch of sales pitches and hear long meandering bios. This is going to be fun, interactive, something you're part of, because I got ADHD. I can't listen to someone talk for 45 minutes. So I build the event that I won't get bored at. I got to MC the whole thing. So I can't get bored. I'll doze off. Someone will finish speaking and they'll be like, Michael. So I got to make sure I stay engaged. And if it's fun enough for me, you're definitely going to love it.
Yeah. See, I'm reading this book right now called ADHD. It's like lighting. Because I just found out I have ADHD since October. And I knew something was up and I just didn't know what it was. And now I'm like, okay, now I'm in the research phase mode, because there's not enough research for adult ADHD for women, but there's a lot of research for adult ADHD for men. So I'm going to represent the woman with all our ADHD and how we can help and bring those energy and focus our negativity into positivity so we can be the best selves, right? And be the phenomenal woman that you are, right, Anjali? We got to bring it. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I truly appreciate you. And we cannot wait to break through you. Okay, we're talking about you, people. We cannot wait to break through you and help you level up. Thank you guys so much. Have a nice day, everybody. It was really nice to meet you, and I will see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. We love you.
Thanks, Doc.
That's right. We do love you. Bye.
Come to the summit.
Thing moment. That's right. You gotta dance first before we end. Let's bring that energy.
There will be dancing. There will be music.
There will be dancing?
Whether you dance or not, it's up to you, but there will be music.
Sean, I can't see you dance. Bro.
That's how I come out of breakouts. I was
Hard to dance sitting on
Come
your
on, let's
toes.
get that energy. It's Wednesday. It's half of the week. Woohoo!
Angelique's like, muted dance? Come on. 25,000 people are watching you right now on just YouTube, guys. Okay? So let's
Shut
bring
the
that
front door.
energy and see what we can come up with this Saturday.
I love it. That was awesome, Sean.
Can you guys take a picture? Crystal. Right, we're still here. Oh my god, it's so funny. All right, bye everybody. We're gonna end this.